All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol SNDL, Sundial Growers Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So, Sundial Growers Inc. has been in a bearish run. Well, we now just saw a turn of events. So, we had stated that the 25-cent mark was important. Then came the 23-cent mark, and after 23, we would be seeing newer lows, newer support levels, and also seeing this hit down closer to the 18-cent range based off of the history of the chart and where this was heading. Well, there's been a turnaround. So this support level from yesterday to today is super important for the next coming weeks and days. So volatility took this upwards, and we're going to see if the bulls can continue to maintain themselves above the 50-day moving average. So tomorrow will be a big day for Sundial growers in the direction that this is heading, because the tug of war has just started, and right now the bulls are gaining leverage. Before this, the tug of war was showing that the bulls were trying, but the bears were winning and maintaining leverage below the 50-day moving average. Now the bulls have actually broken through it. We're sitting slightly above it. And if the bulls can maintain this momentum and break through the resistance levels that we're about to talk about, they could be on their way to newer highs and new resistance levels. So this is pretty exciting for investors that are actually involved in this one and are trying to hold for the long term or see potential of growing in this stock. So I look forward to seeing your guys' comments down below, how you guys feel about this. Where do you guys see this going? And do you think that the bulls are going to continue to maintain this leverage on taking it to newer highs? But to go ahead and point this out, this is the most important support level, 2380. I want you guys to write this down because, like I said, the tug of war is going to be very interesting, and you're going to want to pay close attention to these numbers as this rolls out for the rest of the week and also the next coming days overall. So 2380 is the lowest point reached in the bearish run, and that's probably the most important support level right now because it's the lowest point reached and it's below the 50-day moving average. If it gets broken through, this stock could be on its way to newer lows. So I want you guys to keep in mind that point of reference. Now, we have new resistance levels, and I want to talk about the highest point before it leveled off. And then I want to talk about the lowest point in that sideways movement. And then I'm going to talk about this before it lifted off and broke through the 50-day moving average, as well as the highest point reached. We got to look at all those points. They're very important. So before this actually started to hit newer highs, it was sitting at around 24.34. And then it rode up and it reached highs here of about 27.40. I want every single investor to have that number written down because that's the most important number right now. Just like I stated, yesterday's support level leading on to today down here at 2380 is super important, and it's the lowest point reached in the bearish candlesticks. This is the most important number right now for the bulls to reach newer highs and break through new resistance levels, which is 27.40. So that's a very important number too for the next coming days and also week. So keep those two numbers in mind on both ends of the spectrum so that you guys are aware where this is heading, if it's heading to newer lows or if it's going to head to newer highs. But we want to narrow in and look at what's important for tomorrow and what these cues do signify for us to pay close attention to as the day unravels. So this support level here is very important as well because we're still above the 50-day moving average if it gets broken through, and it was nearly touched twice. It was actually touched once and almost a second time. But for the bulls to go ahead and maintain this momentum that they have right now, and they're above the 50-day moving average in bullish territory, they're going to want to break through this resistance. This resistance is 26.56. Super important for every single investor to be aware of this and also know that this needs to be broken through for the bulls to maintain momentum. So 2740 is super important for the bulls to hit newer highs. But this is the beginning catalyst to continue to hit those highs, continue to hit new resistance levels, and stay above the 50-day moving average in bullish territory. So for this momentum to continue, I want to emphasize the bulls need to break through 2656. They can't hang out near it. They can't kind of miss it. They can't just hang out sideways and then later on do it, because this 50-day moving average will catch up to the price, and by default, this stock will end up in bearish territory, giving leverage to the bears. Now we're slightly on the bullish side of things, giving leverage to the bulls, but for the bulls to maintain that leverage, they need to break through this resistance, and that's 2656. Turn that into a support to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. So I want every single investor to be aware that this needs to be broken through. Now, on the other hand, we have what the bears want, and this is the lowest point reached in this sideways movement. And if the bears accomplish this, this is the beginning of them starting to get closer to their goal. And our support level is 25.49. So I want to emphasize to all investors, pay close attention to the behavior of this stock and how quickly is it moving to newer lows, because it's not that far from the 50-day moving average. And our 50-day moving average is 25.21. I'd write that down. That lets us know on what side of the chart we're in. If we're above it, we're in bullish territory. If we're below it, we're in bearish territory. Now, if the bears break through this support, which is 25.49, you have that small window of still bullish territory to see who is dominating the chart. Are the bears tearing this down fairly quickly and about to break through the 50-day moving average, or are the bulls trying to reappear and stop this from hitting newer lows? Now, I also want every single investor to be aware that if this breaks through the 50-day moving average, it does not signify that the bears have completely destroyed the chart. You have to pay close attention to the behavior, because the tug of war will be going on, and we'll have to see if the bulls try to reappear or are the bears quickly tearing this down. That's why this point of reference down here is super important before the run at 24.34 to keep in mind. And you can kind of see the behavior between the 50-day moving average and that support level before this bullish run and leveling off to have an idea if the bulls have time to reappear or are the bears tearing this down fairly quickly. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community, and don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.